Hey guys, what's up? It's Max from Sketchapp TV, and I'm going to show you a new app called Principle today. Principle is an app to create UI animations that you can create from sketch exports or normal graphics. So the goal for today is to create an UI animation that looks like this. So we have a scrolling effect, some opacity that is changing, and in general to get a feeling of how the scroll effect will be in our app. I once did a video about how to create this UI. The link is down in the description, and you can open it up in Sketch. I copied and pasted some more photos here to have a better scroll. And what you now do is you just, first of all, you download Principle from principleformac.com. Link is also in the description. And you can export your sketch assets, like the scrolling part right here, like this part. Then I exported in the middle the search input box and this headline, and I exported the top part with the navigation and status bar, and of course this intro image with the separated, I exported the image separately from the button and the new collection text. So here is the final result, but yeah, we will create a new one. You open it up and then you have a blank artboard right here. And now what we will do is to just drag our assets all in here. So we have the app bar and status bar, the top image, the top button. Created a new artboard that was by mistake. Then we have the line with the headline and our scrolling content. I think that's it. So let's just click these layers, it's really like in Sketch, and just rearrange them so everything is at the right position. On the right you have a little preview image of how it will look like. You can also record that and export the recording in different formats. So yeah, let's just quickly rearrange these parts right here. Ah yeah, the search bar was missing. Search input. There it is. Rearrange everything so it looks like in Sketch. We have a little background color here that I will also copy and add to our artboard. Simply click on Fill, go to this one, yeah, and here you can paste it. So that's it. Everything is placed at the correct position. And now we will start animating. Drag this to the top so the content will lay below the status and app bar. And also put every layer in the right order. Okay. So that if you use this here, the content for scrolling, it is below all other things. What we will do now is use drivers. Simply click on drivers. So we have drivers for artboard 1. And what we want to do is to create a scrolling animation of this content. So what we do is we click on scroll right here. So this layer is now all scrolling content. And we click here to add a new keyframe and change this value, so we can change the position. And you see here that this is not like time or something, but it's the position in our case. I will just make this invisible so we can get a better impression on how it will look like. Our scrolling content. Drag this to the top to give it the ability to scroll through everything. And then you get an impression on at which value it looks like. So the next thing we will do is to animate the other parts. Because, or let's just rename them to get a better impression of what we are currently animating. Let's call this top bar. Let's call this just button. This photo, search, and like text. Yeah, I'm also new to this app, and I want to show you the basics about it, but I think I can already show you some minor things. And yeah, just try what I just do here and learn how to create nice UI animations. So the next thing we will do after we created the scrolling animation is that we want to change the Y position of the photo. So we click our layer right here, then we add a new keyframe, set this to Y, and now we can change the position. I want to change the position once the content is like right there. So so it was about here. Click it to make a new keyframe, but I want to start changing this value once it is at like 450. So what we will do now is to change this keyframe to a position where we want it, and then we change this value to, and let's try it out, maybe around, maybe around minus 200, minus 230. Yeah, that looks good. So we have our animation here. You see it is starting to change this value once our content is just below it. The next thing is I want to animate this button, that it also change its position and its opacity. So we click on here again. We change or let's just do the opacity. I think that could be enough for this part right here. So we have it right here, and we want the opacity to change once it actually is right there, so we have to start before. Here is our ending keyframe, and here the opacity should be 0, so you see it's really working well. The next thing is we want the search bar to be invisible when we are crossing it, so we are again right here adding keyframe for the opacity, and it should be invisible once we are like here. Reposition the first one to give it a better animation. Oh yeah, we have to set it to 0. And now it's also working, and we can scroll through it without having it in our scrolling animation. And the last thing we want to animate is the text layer. We want to change the Y value again, so it should change this value once our content is right there, or once the content is right there. Select the layer, click here to add a new keyframe, and click on Y. So it should actually scroll with us, for example to this point right here. Click again to get a new keyframe and change this value to where we want it. And our final destination point will be that it is placed right here. We have to change the layer in our inspector, the layer hierarchy. So it should be just fine having it right there. You can also test it out at this box right here, as I said before. So we see that it's crossing the search bar, and I think that it's not really looking nice. So we have to change the opacity of the search bar to make it even expire earlier, to make it invisible earlier. It's not enough. Yeah, I think that's cool. That looks nice. Of course, the text layer isn't really looking nice above the photo. So let's just change something more related to the photo once it is right here. We want to change what we will do, the opacity of the photo, or will we add some we will add something like a black overlay. I think let's just change the opacity of the photo. So we click on the layer photo again, and then we have to drag this down a little bit to get more space for our keyframes. Select opacity right here, and it should change to maybe, let's say 30%, or let's say 20% once it is right there. So we also have this animation right there. Let's test it out. What I don't like is that the popular products layer is just at the bottom of our photo. So we want to change the position of popular products of this layer again to correct it, to make it even better. That means that we want to change the final, or that we should add another new keyframe. Maybe around here, and change the Y value again. And I think now it actually should look nice. Okay, now the content is scrolling through our photo. That's not that good. So maybe we can change that by adding a nice little rectangle. The rectangle will only be visible when we want it to be visible. So I change the color to white. Did it work? Now it works. Yeah, now it's white. And we want this layer, let's call it just white, to be visible once we change the opacity of our photo. So right here, we want it to be visible at 0%, and then we want it to be visible right here at 100%. Okay, we have to change the opacity to make it more natural. And we also have to make it a bit tinier. Yeah, it's really, sometimes it's really like trial and error to get an impression of how it will look like. Make it a bit small, bigger again. And let's just test it out, how it looks like. It should actually just be like this. So it doesn't have to be visible before scrolling right here. But once our actual content is below this popular products bar, I want it to be white and visible. So it works fine now. You see it's coming up a little bit. Let's make this a little bit bigger for you, so that you see it. Yeah, it's really nice looking. So you see, you can do great things really easy with Principle. So that was the first video about Principle and doing some scrolling animation with drivers. And the next videos will also be about Principle and how to go from Sketch to Principle. So if you like this little video about my first impressions of Principle and how to create a scroll animation, hit that like button below and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I have some more great videos in the description and some more links. Check it out. Download this file right here. I will also save the Principle file so you can check it out. And yeah guys, thanks for watching, have a nice day.